Okay. Hopefully we're back now. Oh, very, 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 very annoying. I don't know why Twitch keeps crashing on us, but it's not any fun. Let's keep going quick before another ad starts.
We've apparently got an ad break in 32 minutes. So.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get around it. Okay, so we didn't move the game any from where we stopped here. No, I just have to go back to it. Hold on. Yeah, Care said, not sure. I felt like I already met the one I was looking for. What could be greater than a greater fight than slaying a wyvern chimera?
You're right. I think that means it's time to befriend the Realm Keepers now.
Wouldn't that be something?
Which one would you like to meet the most?
Gaia? I can't think of a better honor than that, can you?
Gaia as well, but I feel like I should pick someone else for balance. Cassiopeia, maybe. I'd love to ask her how she's doing right now. Maybe give her a hug. We have an ad starting in 55 seconds.
You'd be the type to give a dragon a hug. By the way, we're going to have to pause here in a moment for another top of stream ad break. Let me go ahead and run it now, actually, and get it over with. There we go.
If this keeps happening, is it
I
worth
know.
complaining?
Well, let's...
Let's try this again.
He was twitching just a second ago. Yeah, he's having a dream. His little foot is twitching. He's very cute. All right. Let's try and actually get to play the game now, please. Hey, Rebesco. We're back.
What does that mean?
That you're very lovely, I think. Something like that. So, fellow dragon enjoyer, who would you pick? No repeats. Let's see. Who do we want to see?
I don't know. We feel like Leviathan or people.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go with the first dragon and the origin of everything.
Thank you, Moxico.
There's just something fascinating about trying to understand the incomprehensible. They say their domain is covered in the roots of the ether tree. Laying eyes upon them supposedly reveals unspoken truths of the universe. I wonder what that do to you.
Oh, something fun, I'm sure. But I suspect your quest will have its merits, even if you don't meet any of the Realm Keepers. That's true. I bet you and Rhea will have a lot to talk about, and you can teach Archie more about adventuring.
I'm not so sure about that.
You're a great teacher. I've learned so much from you already just by being your friend. Like how to say what I really mean. I'm still working on it, obviously, but I feel so much better when I'm being honest about what it is that I want.
You've been getting a lot better, that's for sure.
Thank you. And Melly loves practicing with you too. She says she wants to ask Rhea to build her a great sword of her own.
Of course, Melly. So a regular sized dagger, then? Teaching someone to hold a sword is one thing. Guts and bravery or something else. Not sure I can teach Archie something I'm still practicing myself.
You can always practice together.
Yeah. Speaking of practice, you're going on a quest too, right, Elfie?
I am. Aura and I are going to fix the Banshee and the Mary Morgan's relationship.
Is that Sneaky Twister's new name?
It is.
Ain't you scared of the Mary Morgan?
What, only a little? Okay. Maybe a lottle? Do you think she's going to drown me? Or do you think the Banshee will? Maybe they'll reunite through the teamwork of drowning me.
Probably not. I think you'll probably find some wacky as heck solution that no person in the history of dragonkind would ever have thought of. Like being kind or something.
Oh, I'd like that.
And if all else fails, you've always got an insane air echo by your side to pull you out of the water. If he can swim.
He's sane?
Is he?
Well, mostly I think he's sad. And sadness can make people feel a lot of very intense things. Like fear, or anger, or nothing at all. Anything that isn't sadness. It's easy to lose yourself in that, but there is always a way out if you're looking.
You taking that sheepfish thing of his with you?
Maybe. I think he might let him stay with Melina so she isn't so alone. Or so he isn't at risk of losing him, or honestly, probably both.
Not a bad idea. I would hate for her to be all alone while you two go chasing ghosts. Maybe we can send Grace over to check up on her.
Or Hex.
No. I guess if you're going with whatever the Drake's his name is, you'll finally be able to ask him about his cheesecake recipe.
I'm sorry, his cheesecake recipe. Melina mentioned he has a really good one. I thought maybe he could show me how to make it.
You can't bake on the trail.
That sounds like a great idea, though.
That sounds like a great idea. Ask him. You can use my kitchen if you want to.
Really? That would be amazing. I'll ask him. Maybe.
Andu will be waiting for you both. On a completely different note, Care, what happened to those undead snails you wanted to check in on? Well, they're slow, ain't they? Still got a little time to stick around.
So you'd say you like it here?
It's not too bad here, though. Maybe I'd even bring my cousin a souvenir.
Hands off my trinkets.
I ain't that Echo. I'll get her something from the market or the elf settlement. And maybe I'll bring you back something from her farm, Elfie. You mentioned you'd like to try planting some ghost berries. Either way, I'll stop by sooner or later. Don't want to risk her turning into a werewolf and moving house. No, but seriously, if any more of my family members turn into dragon-forsaken werewolves, I'm joining the Van Helsings.
I still don't know if they kill werewolves.
I don't care.
Do you think I could come with you when you go? I mean, I could gather the ghost berries myself, and I know a lot about snails.
You should. You've got away with her family members. And the snails, I'm sure, would love you. Have to agree, you'd probably make it a chaotic mess, but...
A fun, chaotic mess.
Yeah.
Seems like you guys did end up forming a party after all.
Shut up.
Okay. Anyway, it's late. I think I should go back to the settlement and get some rest. Callan, do you want to come with me? We can stop by the werewolf settlement and say hi to Mr. Dragon, or bye.
Thank you, boy. Ain't sure I got any tips for you in return, but I can listen to you worrying.
Yeah, you're very good at that. You want to come too, Innkeeper?
I'm afraid Andu doesn't do well in civilization or alone, especially not alone. But I will eagerly await your return stories.
We'll return with plenty.
I'm counting on it. Good night, Care. Good night, Fable. Night.
Good night. Moxico, to answer your question, yes. Although I don't believe I've had Japanese cheesecake.
I don't think I have either. I haven't met a cheesecake I didn't like yet so far. I don't always like the sauces that they put on them, but, you know.
One day
Ooh,
later.
interlude. Let's save quick. Save. You should probably delete some of these old saves.
Never!
But, you know, it hasn't called me short up on it yet, so more saves. I have 100 saves currently in Dragon Age Inquisition, and I just save over the old ones in order.
Dragon.
Okay, let us have our interlude, 13th of the Astral Moon. This is our new dragon. I knew we took the right path. We took that road trip all by ourselves.
Liam did, I think.
I think that was perhaps a rhetorical question.
Whoa, dude. I didn't see you there. What's up? I'm working on it.
The sky, last time I checked.
God, that would be. It'd be very confusing otherwise.
Very true. Is this like a crib?
It is indeed. Welcome to the Wayfarer's Inn. With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking? His tail is wagging.
Polygeist and the goodest of boys, Scott Howell. Oh my god, he's so cute. And together, we are like the prank masters.
With a Z. Whoa!
Ah, pleasure to meet you. I'm your humble innkeeper.
Awesome. What drinks do you serve?
Like, yeah, we're in some desperate need of booze.
I'm sorry to disappoint, but I don't serve booze.
What? Why?
The age rating system is really quite harsh on such things. And I'm going to keep the place open somehow.
Like, I feel you. We all have such burdens to carry. But, like, what else have you got?
Oh, magical beverages that can enhance your abilities. It's even rumored they might influence your fate. Whoa! That's so cool, dude. Like an influencer, but for fate. A fate influencer.
That would go so hard on my mentagram.
What's a moment, Graham?
We should hook you with Milo. Like, they can totally explain it all better. And keep please influence our fate, like, before I get bored. I'm feeling incredibly depleted from this weird AF trip.
It sounds like you're in dire need of some stamina. Though I think you could use something a little bit stronger than usual.
Dope. Like, give me your strongest potion. I want to fail my constitution roll.
Technically, you know what? Never mind.
Okay. Let's see if we can knock the Valley Girl out.
2 N's and a Y.
2 N's and a
But
Y.
not where you think.
Right, okay, so she needs sword times 3. So Sailor's Courage would work. Or a Southern Brawler. Let's do Sailor's Courage. Okay. We'll have to use an additive for it, I think, in order to get everything. Right, so now let's look up the additives. Citron would work. Or a frozen pine cone, or a phoenix chili.
Yeah, with Polly, it's anything strengthy.
Anything strengthy?
Yeah.
So let's use a phoenix chili. All right, here. Phoenix chili for your spicy sailor's courage. So we need 2 more of these. 1, 2, and then we need 1 of those. And 1 of those. That should do it. Thank you, Andu. Well done. Sailor's courage with fire resistance. There you go.
A funky drink for a funky gal.
Let's see. Whoa, this is like so very good. So good, I don't even miss the alcohol. Well, okay, like maybe a little bit.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Private got.
Woo, that tickles. Just like pickle juice. So, Scott, Howell, would you like a drink as well? Nah. But you could tell us where we are and what cool things we can check out around here.
You're in Zenith, in the Republic of Phasia. Are you lost? No, at least not as long as we're having a blast.
You do seem slightly out of this world, if I may say so.
Ooh, maybe you're on to something, potion seller. You know, we were road tripping, like, supposed to be the trip of our lives, when something weird happened.
We were about to take the next turn at a crossroads, and then whoosh, a portal opened up, and I couldn't hit the brakes in time.
So what are they from?
Yeah.
Are they from another game?
That's what I'm looking up now.
Yeah, we drove straight through and ended up on like a gravel road. Everything's like different and dated, like so dated. Why are the kids from Monster Prom here, right? I don't know. We're trying to find out. Dated? Duh. I think like I've done plenty of weird stuff, but like this is a different like kind of weird.
They are the kids from Monster High. Monster Prom, here we go.
Prank Master Monster Prom. I love it. More crossovers. Yes, please. That means like we might get like, you know, Dooley and McQueen.
Dooley and McQueen showing up is very much not off the
Potion wizard!
So weird. No cars, only carriages and stuff.
Cars?
Yeah,
Do you mean carts?
kinda. More like carriages, but without the horses.
I'm afraid I have no clue what you're talking about. I don't think, like, cars exist here, Scott. Now it makes sense that my phone has, like, no bars.
What makes sense?
We landed, like, in the past.
Whoa. Does that mean we time traveled?
Like, for sure.
That's so cool.
I doubt time travel is actually possible. Sounds more like you participated in inter-universal travel. Which is rare, but happens occasionally. Wait. Like, so what you're saying is, like, we are, like, super special and lucky to have participated in, like, this event?
Likely.
Ooh, pff. This is a sign, Scott. Like, the universe sent us here to totally wreak havoc.
Whoa. The prank monsters will strike again. Soon. After I nap. Can we take a nap while he untied?
Like, that's a great idea. Hey, Funky Magic Mystery Pal, like, you better get to writing that tour guide.
I'll see what I can do.
Good. Like, do you have a room for us?
Of course. I've got a room upstairs, just ignore the scratching sounds and especially ignore the leaking water by the iron door.
Like, don't worry, we've totally seen worse than that. We've got plenty of experience with sea monsters. Like, it's so dope to see more. See you in a bit. Come on, Scott, let's, like, hit the sheets.
Maybe I should add some do not enter signs.
It was bizarre and adorable. I want Julie McQueen now.
Hello.
It's nice to see you, Baya.
Thank you for having me. Now that...
Is your friend's dispute still causing you trouble?
Still so lonely. Lonely. I came to ask, have you sent someone to help my friend?
I did, actually.
You did?
Yes, I sent Fable and Aura to help solve your friend's dispute.
Ooh.
Oh, look at the little smile.
And let's hope they'll be friends again soon. So we can have tea parties again. And I can stop being lonely. At least people are visiting my spa. That's cool. Thank you for handing out my coupon.
Like, did I hear spa?
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like something, Scott?
Whoa, I love spa things.
Now, like, are you our tour guide, sweet Bob creature?
Poor guy. Do you want to visit my spa?
These two are Polygeist and Scott Howell. They're currently looking for, like, entertainment. And a way back home, but, like, entertainment first, obviously. It's getting incredibly boring here. No offense, Funky Mystery Magic Pal.
None taken? Where is your home? A portal or something, I don't know.
Yeah, like, we came through a portal, which is in itself is pretty rad. But we've had the medieval tavern experience and all, and it was good while it was lasted, but, like, it's time to move on.
Move on to my spa?
Perfect, something like that.
Which makes me think, Via, Do you think you could help them find a way back home? Of course. You can do that. But first, you have to visit my spa.
Oh my god, there's nothing easier than that. I need a facial anyway. The hair here is so dry.
My bog water is especially moisturizing.
Moisturize me.
Wait. Does it mean we get to go skinny dipping at some hot springs?
Oh my god, like for sure.
My hot springs are the best.
Cool. All right. So pit stop at your spa and then a road trip back home. Are you joining us for the ride, you sweet bog creature?
We'll see. I'll first show you the port and my spa.
If you bring them to the portal, you could take a ride with them through it. That might help with your loneliness.
You think so?
Absolutely.
No one's lonely on a ride with the prank masters. Prank masters. I'll think about it. Which portal do you want to take? The one through Avalon, full of dreams and... or the one through the Twilight Chasm, a place full of dread and also weird fishies.
Ooh, like I like spooky. The Twilight Chasm sounds spooky.
I love dreams. They're so weird. Like that one dream I had where I was my own dad.
Gorgug?
Where should I lead them, innkeeper?
A trip to the Nightmare Realm sure sounds fun.
Nightmares? Heck yeah! Haven't had one of those in a while.
Dope.
Make sure you don't lose your minds, though.
No promises.
I can't wait to show you my mud masks.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to show you the world, you sweet bog creature.
My name is Baya. Let's hit the road, Baya.
Enjoy your trip and safe travels. Bye, potion seller.
Yeah. Goodbye, innkeeper.
Have fun, Baya. I'm glad Baya could find a little more comfort in these peculiar visitors, at least. I'm excited to hear the story she'll tell when she gets back. Aww. And we will take a quick... Oh, he switched sides. He's all dragony. Ugh. Act 2, Starlight Sonata, Day 13. Come hell, hella high water. That song's so old it won't get a copyright strike. There we go. Your fault, and Paradise's fault.
Here comes the consequence.
Consequences of my actions following me now. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Bang! Just gonna take a quick peek at the Discord. Wait, see if there's anything going on. No, I'm good. I don't remember Grace. Oh, yes. This is my, Good evening, innkeeper.
Good evening, Grace.
Can I ask you for a drink?
Anytime. What can I do you for?
I'm pretty spent. Do you have something that will keep my mind awake for a little longer?
I should have something that can do just that. One moment.
Okay, we need a brain drink. A silent owl would work. So at a peak's sunrise. or a sparkling nebula? I think we gave them a sparkling nebula last time.
I'd go with the sparkling nebula.
I do too. Storytellers and scholars alike can broaden their horizons, right? There we go. There we go. One sparkling nebula. Coming right up.
A drink for the mind and soul.
Thank you. This is just what I needed.
Why are you still so tired, if I might ask? I thought you were done with your thesis.
I am. Which also means I need to figure out what to do next. The possibilities are endless, but not boundless, so considerations are a complicated endeavor.
Have you considered a break?
I have? Say, innkeeper, if you had forever, what would you do with it?
I've never thought about that before. Lies. I like being an innkeeper, so honestly, I could just do this forever. It's relaxing and it's safe, and I get to meet the most wonderful people and wizards all day.
Forever is a really long time. Isn't there anything else you would like to do? Play the harp?
Yeah. I've always wanted to learn how to play the harp.
Oh, why haven't you?
No time, no muse, no talent. Or maybe I'm just waiting for the right moment.
When will that moment come?
I'm not sure. I just don't feel like the harp belongs to me right now.
Let me know when it does. I'd love a concert.
Will do. What would you do with immortality?
I would learn everything there is to learn. Every language, every instrument, skill, and facet of mortal existence. I would travel the plains with my brother and learn even more. Have an infinite amount of tea parties.
I'd come to those.
When we were little, Hex would always make all the stuffed animals dance around our little tea table. We didn't have money for music boxes, so he just made up songs for them to dance to, and he sang them to me. If I had time, I would love to write down all those songs and invent dances for them.
You should make time for that. It's your time, after all.
What is he doing? Is he spicy me?
Tail's getting spicy. I think he's contemplating some bitage.
Okay, let's let him chill for a bit.
And besides, like, you don't have forever. You do have quite a lot. An elven lifespan really is nothing to scoff at, even if you only get half.
Not if you got the human side of the lifespan.
Oh, yes, that's last time.
It is, but I'll make the most of it.
What will you do next, then?
I'm not sure yet. I was thinking about going to Ashfadal.
The capital of the Majocracy. I heard the libraries there are 60 stories tall, and rivers float through the sky in an exuberant display of manner.
There are no rats in America.
Sounds like paradise for someone like you.
Yes, but Hex really wants to stay here. He likes Phasia, Zenith, the Ashen Grove. I think he likes how quiet it is, if you would believe it. I don't think he'd like the bustle of it all.
You could just go without him. There's a Magicration embassy in Zoford. Their teleportation is expensive, but it is reliable.
I don't think he wants to go back to Zoford either. And I won't make him.
He could teleport himself then.
He really shouldn't. It's quite a long distance and he's awful at teleportation.
He could take a ship.
I appreciate the effort, but I don't think a ship would help make the distance acceptable to him. He's always going to follow me, no matter where I go. I think he doesn't want to miss out on any adventures or celebrations or funerals.
You can just tell him you want to go alone.
But then he'd be alone too.
Just talk to him, Grace.
I don't want to spend our time together fighting. I just don't want him to spend it mourning me, either.
You should tell him that. He'll have enough time to mourn you when you're gone. Unlike life, that never ends.
I suppose you're right. I'd like to leave something he can remember me by. Maybe I'll build my own wizard tower.
Please do. I love those.
Did you hear about the one on Melora near Dalwell?
The one with the famous magicration fugitive.
The very same. It seems that its wizard has disappeared without a trace, leaving his tower vacant. I've always wanted to stop by for tea, but I don't want to be rude and intrusive, so I haven't. I wonder what he left behind, though. I'm sure it's a collection of fascinations and impossibilities.
Couldn't you just teleport in, to check?
You can't exactly teleport in and out of well-protected areas willy-nilly. You might end up trapped, or on a whole nother plane.
You might. Maybe that's what happened to the wizard.
Maybe. No one seems to know what happened to him, or who he even was. And no one seems interested in finding out, either. Isn't that sad?
A little.
I don't want to disappear like that.
You won't. I will tell your story for as long as I'm around.
And how long is that?
For as long as this world will bear me.
You were very easy to bear.
Thank you, Grace. Would you like to stay a little while?
Please. I find your inn truly inspiring.
I'll be here if you need to rub a duck.
I'm counting on it. And on that note...
Oh, look.
Let's take our ad break here real quick, folks. And then we'll see what Grumpy Sunshine here has in store. It's been more than half our stream. So if you haven't had a stretch break since you've joined us, please do get up and have a little wiggle or at least a drink of water or something and see if you need a snack or if there's a medication you need to take or if a pet needs in or out. And we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Robbie with palpable glee. An angsty boy!
He is the knight. He is the knight.
Hello, darling boy.
That's a high albedo kitty.
Oh, do you want to sneeze in? Oh dear. He's out of crunchies.
I can't stand. Let me do something about that.
Alright, do you want to get him a half scoop, maybe? Oh. Grumpy sunshine. Poor shenanigans. We're never gonna get to do them again.
Shenanigans. We loved it.
Shenanigans. But we don't need shenanigans when we have grumpy sunshine.
Grumpy sunshine.
We have grumpy sunshine. Here we go.
Hi, innkeeper.
Hiya, you two.
Please, or two, actually.
Sure thing. Actually, what name are we on right now?
Well, order is still fine.
Come on, that was a whole week ago.
I was busy.
Want to come up with a new one now, then?
Can I come up with one? Sure. How about Kumo? I feel like you look like a Kumo.
It fits.
Spider.
He is just as stealthy as a spider.
And just as cute.
Is he blushing?
He is blushing.
I'll take your word for it.
Our drinks. Can we get them now?
Of course. What would you like?
Something sweet. Bubbly, maybe. If you can find something that, you know.
Sure. I'll see if I can find the words you're looking for.
Has someone caught feelings?
Oh, dear. Oh. Looking for a brainy drink. Crown drink. Let's see. So, Thousand Winds. Sunny Breeze. I think they have a Sunny Breeze pretty often. Or a Spoken Heart. Great for emotionally repressed individuals.
I think a Sunny Breeze sounds like a really good idea.
All right. Sunny Breeze. Do we have notes on it?
We do. I can give you what the walkthrough did exactly if you would like.
Does it recommend a Sunny Breeze?
It recommends a Sunny Breeze. What they went with was a Sunny Breeze with a honey flower for Zephyr / Aura / Kumo.
Okay.
And
With a honey flower?
yeah, a Sunny Breeze with a honey flower.
Okay. Let's do a honey flower and a Sunny Breeze. Sunny Breeze! There we go. So, 1, 2, and then 2 of these. There we go. Sunny Breeze with honey flower. Which protection is this? Which protection does the honey flower give? Blessed. Better chance fighting the undead or other unholy creatures, or any creatures, really. Blessed. Plus 1d4. It's good for you. Good for what ails you. Liquid charisma for those in need.
Maybe you should try it then.
Do you want to send it back?
No. It's good.
Glad to hear that. Fable, what can I get you?
Yes. Maybe something that will make me feel like I could lift 1,000 clouds. like I've got the strength of a dragon or something like that. Kellen always says it's very tasty.
I see. A Carolyn special then. Excuse me, folks. I'm about to sneeze.
Shoot.
All right. What are we thinking? Sailor's Courage or
Maybe a fist snow.
Southern Brawler?
The walkthrough I'm using recommends a fist snow with a golden feather.
What's a golden feather give? I don't know. Do I have golden feathers? Golden feathers. That gives haste. Okay.
They did, before I go any further, I should say, they said this gave them the achievement called Still in Training. So I'm not sure how accurate this is.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do this. They want something fighty, right?
Something strong based. Hashtag strong. The strongness.
So I think I like the idea of a Southern Brawler. And then also, let's check an additive. Because they're gonna do the social mission, right?
I think so.
Does Twiglet react to sneezes like you just gave away your position to an enemy sniper? Not really. Only if he watches you
If
sneeze.
he sees you do it.
He doesn't hear you. So.
Like we say, he's got like the top 10 and the bottom 10% of his hearing, so. He walked past me grinding coffee earlier today and didn't even react. It was kind of amazing.
Frost armor, inspiration. I think inspiration is a good thing for us to have right now. So let's do Thunder Sage. And this one's Thunder Sage, right? Yeah. And then, oh, I hear him. What's he doing? Two. And then 3 of these. Come on! 4. Would you go check on the lab, please? No. Game says we don't like that. Oh, that's because I got it wrong.
Where's that getting this, Stuart?
I don't need that. Okay, so what I need is I need one of these.
What's going on, my boy?
Is he alright?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I need 2 of those. That's why. Okay, this drink isn't gonna work. I can't use the Thunder Sage.
Okay.
Because there's too much of a negative there. Hold on a second. Let's find another additive. Though I wonder, what if I made a Southern Brawler and then added something to it, you know?
Give it a shot. You've saved.
Yeah. And just see what happens, right? 1, 2, 3. So there's a Southern Brawler. So now what happens if I add Thunder Sage?
It's no longer a Southern Brawler, and Andrew does not approve.
Right. Okay, what if I add a Golden Feather? No. No.
Sorry your drink was late, Fable. We were just dropping random things in it until it clicked for us.
The Frost Cone seems to work.
He's not for a sign back out.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't. We tried the chili and that didn't work. Okay, so nope. This worked though. Nope. I don't think it wants me to do any additives. All right, fine. Southern Brawler it is. A regular's favorite for another regular.
Thank you. It's delicious, as usual.
That's what I like to hear. I like your new hair, by the way.
Oh, you do? Oh, thank you so much.
Here, baby. Shall we say hi to everybody? Shall we say hi? No?
No.
No?
I did not wish to be perceived.
Flee the Cylon tyranny? Okay, hang on a second. Child.
Sensitive cat.
Child, what are we doing? Settle. Come on.
Mom, this is my butt. Look at my butt, Mom.
Yes. Come here. Come on. Lie down. No. Are we going back to our own spot? No. Hang on. He is adventuring.
He is a perfect little snowball.
He is a perfect little velociraptor. That's correct. He's not that big. We think he's under 5 kilos. Even he's just about full size now. Or he's close to full size. He's 10 months. Oh. Well, hang on. We're just going to be completely distracted by how cute the cat is. What's he doing? Is he... He's looking at the light fixture. Come on, Bubba. Let us finish the game, okay? You can go... He's gonna go about his adventures. Very well. Let's go back to the game. There you go.
It looks really nice, right? Kumo braided it for me. He helped me calm down after we encountered the Mary Morgan. But I should probably start at the beginning, right?
I'd appreciate that.
Okay, so what happened at the beginning? The ship to Boreas. Right, yes, the ship to Boreas. I was a bit worried about the journey we were embarking on. After all, the seas around Boreas are famously rather hard to traverse, with all the wild magic around it and all. But just before we left Zenith, we ran into Una in the middle of an arm wrestling match against Aniko. We took the opportunity to ask for her advice. Thought maybe she traveled there before.
You could have also asked me.
She was closer.
Right. And did she have any good advice?
We did. With her help, we were able to avoid all of the dangerous maelstroms, sea stacks, and iceberg elementals.
That must have made for a very relaxing journey.
It did. It was very inspiring, too. We were able to see the dancing, colourful auroras in the night sky as we drew closer. They were starless, but they were still so gorgeous. I even started on a new song. It wasn't ready to be shared yet, though. I just wanted a sneak peek. Well, you should have snuck better.
A new song. Can I hear it someday?
It's not done yet. Thanks to Una, we made it to Boreas a lot faster than we had planned. We also docked far away from the typical explorer's route, and it was completely abandoned by everything but nature, as if no one but us had been there before. It's kind of exciting.
That sounds very adventurous for sure.
As we headed inland, we were quickly swallowed by the fog that engulfs almost the entire island. It moved in strange patterns, creating unidentifiable forms within the mist. Forms that hungered for life. The thickets rustled as we walked by, whether moved by wind or by creatures we couldn't tell. The trees were shaped strangely, with shimmering portals forming empty husks. Our unquiet breaths were often interrupted by shrill, shrieking sounds that seemed to come from right above us. It was almost idyllic. Or scary. It was mostly scary. I wouldn't have minded strolling around until we ran into something roaming the island, but in fairness, it was a little cold.
And?
I found a local to us for directions. While wandering around, we came across a clearing surrounded by tall trees. Or rather, one tree. All of them were connected, intertwined with one another. Through one of their twisted connections, a waterfall with no discernible origin was flowing into a small pond. And in its midst rested a nymph! A real nymph!
Doing taxes?
She was weaving flower crowns for the fish. She was beautiful, with long black hair and skin that glistened in the sunlight being reflected off the waterfall. Her eyes were like sparkling gemstones and her smile was full of kindness. She was alright. But also the only person around.
So Fable asked her for directions.
No. Fable asked her about everything but directions. I asked her for directions. She was very helpful. She even gave us a gift.
A gift? That's very sweet.
She gave us earplugs against the Banshee's song so our bones wouldn't shatter.
That sounds very helpful. Did you offer to write her a jingle in return?
I did. She said if we were to survive the encounter with the Banshee, I could come back and she'd think of what she'd need a jingle for. She was thinking about setting up a dragonfly exhibition, so maybe for that. Who would she even advertise to? Frogs? And toads? The Banshee was our first priority. So we stealthily made our way to the Lonesome Lagoon with earplugs in our ears. We mostly walked and talked about our favorite dragonflies. As we finally approached the Lonesome Lagoon, the thick mist enveloped.
I love how there's just like, I'm seeing the smash cut to the way that Kumo's narrating this, and then the way that Fable is narrating this, and la la la.
It suddenly became so cold we could see our own ragged breath. And then we heard it, a song filled with all the sorrow of the world, compressed into a single note. It sounded really nice. There was so much emotion in that song. Sadness, longing, yearning, anger. We wanted to be polite and wait until she was done singing, but she just kept going like tears that just wouldn't stop. So I decided to be a little rude. I stepped forward and I said, "Hello." They said, "Hello, Banshee. I really like your song." Now that confused the Banshee so much that she stopped. She smiled, bearing a row of deadly sharp teeth. She was very nice, actually. She asked if we wanted to steal her from her lagoon. When we said no, she invited us to sing along.
And did you?
Of course. It was kind of fun. It was! And I thought, what better time to bring up the Mary Morgan but now. So I led with, "I bet you do this with your girlfriend all the time, right?" She suddenly looked at me with hatred and anger, and then she just started screaming. I was very thankful for the earplugs at that moment. I think without them, my bones might have melted. So I cute to leave. So I pulled Fable back into the thicket of the Borean forest. Obviously, we couldn't just leave it at that failure, so we looked around for a peace offering. We found some spiky pink fruit with a pattern of little ghost tortoises on them. We thought she might like them. She liked them enough to stop screaming at us, and we sat down at the side of the lagoon to have a chat. Beautiful, by the way. Right in the middle is the giant portal to the Twilight Chasm. The colours the water, this deep, dark blue with swirling clouds of darkness within. There were bones floating in the lagoon, too. I almost brought one for your tavern.
I think I'm glad you didn't.
That would have been weird, huh?
Not necessarily. Bones just tend to come with lone spirits attached to them. And I prefer them resting in the halls of Tuat than my tavern.
That's fair. The Banshee actually fished out some bones to have a fidget with. It stopped her from screaming every time she brought up the Mary Morgan. Or Mama, as she calls her, which I thought was quite sweet. Turns out the Mary Morgan has been ignoring all of her calls. Ever since the Banshee was crowned Gaia's scariest monster by Screech Magazine. She told us it carved a hole in their relationship. Told us it caused a lot of jealousy. And she was disappointed that Mary Morgan cared more about some stupid popularity contest than her. We asked her if she wanted to talk about it with the Mary Morgan herself. She said that she didn't need to apologize for being scary. She was very thankful she got to talk about it, though. She was holding it all in because she didn't want to burden Baya with all of the drama. And she even offered for us to spend the night at her nearby cave. Which was really nice of her, I thought.
Did you end up taking a nap at her lair?
We thought about it, but it was filled to the brim with the riches of the dead.
You move his donut, it's under his butt.
which was far too alluring to allow us to fall to the core.
You found loot. You have my attention. What did you find?
Gold, skulls, jewels of all sizes. And the loot. It was broken, but I picked it up anyway. There was also a delicate silver mirror that had hearts carved all over it. Kumo recognized it as magical from its arcane markings. Melina showed me them in some book the other day. When the wizard in Zofford showed us around his library. It was a mirror of far speech. It lets you speak to anyone on this plane, given that you've seen them before.
So you called Millie?
No, we called him Mary Morgan.
Ah, that makes more sense. How did that go?
Well, I had to be the one to make the call since Kumo had never met her. When her face appeared, all I could do was stare in horror as she gazed back at me. Felt like I was back in the Ashen Grove, leading adventurers to their doom. I just froze. So I took the mirror out of their hands. Her first words were threats of what she would do to us if we had dared to harm the Banshee. Of course we hadn't. That briefly calmed her down. Until I asked why she wasn't here, or if she was so worried about the Banshee's well-being. Avoiding the question, she instead talked to us about the state of the lagoon. She complained that it must be incredibly loud with all the tourists and whatnot. I assured her there were no tourists, at least none that were alive. So she asked what I was doing in the lair then. And honestly, I replied that the Banshee had offered us a place to stay in her cave, and I quickly realized that was the wrong thing to say. Her eyes started bleeding black ichor, and she began cursing us out. In tongues. The mirror cracked under her gaze. It started bleeding black water. It's terrifying. Then we were just supposed to sleep there, as if she couldn't crawl out of the mirror any second. After that happened, I thought that we should discuss our further plans in that cave. So I pulled Fable outside and we went for a walk. The nymph had mentioned this enchanted flower field where she collects flowers for the fish.
Hang on a second, sorry, I'm turning off the fan.
So we went there. We thought it might be a good spot. It was a good spot. Even though I couldn't stop shaking for a while, the flowers really helped. As did not being alone.
Was that when Kumo braided your hair?
It was, yes. My hair kept falling in my face and it was overwhelming me a bit. So he sat me down and braided it away while I worked on rebuilding the loot. He said that some distraction would help. And talking also really helped. Even if I asked a lot of stupid questions. They weren't stupid, you were just curious.
Do you have a favorite one?
They asked where I learned to braid hair, and that actually brought us further on our quest.
Oh, how so?
Well, I learned it from my mother. That's the only thing I feel I have left of her. It was her way of apologizing. She was never good with words. It made me think. Sometimes people aren't very direct with what they mean.
I have heard of that, yes.
Like the Mary Morgan, she didn't seem angry about the Banshee outdoing her in some fear pageant. She didn't even mention it once. She only got upset when she thought we had hurt the Banshee. Or when she thought we were tourists. Or when we said we were staying in that cave. Like she was jealous of something entirely different from some issue of Screech Meg zine. We talked it through, and we decided we had to get the two of them to talk face to face. Obviously, it would be difficult because of the distance and the horror, but I had taken the mirror with me when we left. I thought it might be useful.
Ever the thief.
Indeed. I used it to call Baya. I asked her to call the Mary Morgan to come to Boreas. Fable mentioned she could teleport via plants, however that works.
She can. You should try it out. It's nauseating.
I think we'll pass. While I went to talk to the Banshee, Kumo picked up the Mary Morgan. She and I really connected on eyeliner techniques. When we arrived at the lagoon, they were immediately ready to claw at each other's throats, and not in a fun way. But somehow we managed to convince them to sit down.
But that's the important part. How did you manage to convince them to sit down?
We tried to get them to talk about their feelings, but they just kept talking past each other and over and away from each other, arguing about an issue that didn't exist. So I had this crazy idea. I took out my new lute and asked them if they wanted to write a song together. They declined and insisted their voices would clash, but I thought at the very least it would stop them from arguing. Kumo helped me convince them by summoning tiny rain clouds, pitter-pattering in a gentle melodic rhythm, to inspire them to give it a try. We asked them to put all of their emotions about the whole situation into a song. In the end, they harmonized together perfectly. Like their voices were made for each other and the gentle hum of my lute.
Aww.
It was beautiful. And a little bone-shattering, but it was also very romantic. Most importantly, the song finally got them to understand each other. Like Kumo had suspected, the Mary Morgan was scared, not jealous, now that the Banshee was so popular. She feared the Banshee would become really busy with tourists visiting all the time. She assumed she wouldn't have time for her anymore. But the Banshee assured her she doesn't care about any of the tourists, only about the Mary Morgan, and Baya, of course. We told them to talk to her too. We mentioned how much she had been missing them. They agreed to meet for a tea party in the Ashen Grove, so Baya doesn't have to travel too far.
Did you invite them to your barbecue?
No. After the outpouring of emotions, they wanted some time for themselves. The quest was done. It had only taken us 2 days, which was honestly really efficient. Fortunately, we had told the ship to pick us up in 3 days, so we were trapped on the island. There was only one bed.
So you swam back?
What? No. What's wrong with you?
The usual.
We started brainstorming about what we could do while we waited. So I asked about that cheesecake recipe, but then I realized there wasn't anywhere to bake it. We don't have any taverns on Boreas. It was a stupid idea. It wasn't. Somewhere on the island had to be something to bake a cheesecake in.
And did you find that this is such an adventurous thing? Well, you've got an extra day. Let's make a cheesecake. Did you find that something?
We did, but it turned into its own small mini-quest. First, we had to find the right place for our little adventure. We met these lovely gnomes living in these tiny little mushroom houses, and they offered to let us use their ovens. But they were too small, so they introduced us to the local Toad Hill giant. Its kitchen was enormous, but it was easier to work in than one that was too small. Then the gnomes, the nymph, and the giant helped us gather ingredients from all across the island. We were able to make enough cheesecake for everyone.
Where did the milled flour come from? Just out of curiosity.
Burned mine a bit. But when we made the second batch for the ship's crew, they were already starting to turn out better. Kumo is such a good teacher. You're a really good student. Thank you. The cake really lifted the crew's spirits on the journey back. We agreed to teach them the recipe once we hit land. Afterwards, they invited us to the captain's birthday party.
Of course they did.
They even introduced us to a traveling obelisk who sang us a song of the ancients.
Fuck you, Plinth!
Fuck you, Plinth! Showed us a shortcut through the Rhyolith's mountain range where we met some flaming songbirds.
And now you're here.
And now we're here.
Oh, no.
No, it's kind of dickish.
Well, I'm glad you came back.
Of course we did. I promised a good story.
And you delivered tenfold. Where are you two going next?
I should probably talk to Melina. She was pretty mad when I left. I guess I should apologize while I still can.
That's a good idea.
Do you want me to come with you? No, I think I need to do this alone, or rather, with her. And I have to check in on Rufus too. Maybe Hex taught us some fun magic tricks in the meantime. You left her with Hex. And with Grace.
worry. Nothing was set on fire.
We should go.
I should go.
But before I do, do you maybe want to do something together later today or tomorrow? Like a thing. Oh, like hanging out together? We could play charades with the werewolves. Do it.
I think he might have meant hanging out together as in a date?
Did you? Maybe I did. Oh.
Oh, come on, you two.
Okay, that sounds really fun. Cool. I'll pick you up, or I'll see you around, or whatever. I'll see you. I'm looking forward to it. Me too.
The people's going.
He asked me on a date.
He did.
That's... Oh, what? What do I do now? Do you think Archie has books on dating? Should I ask the Hydra for advice? It probably knows about dating, right? It's been around.
Archie is still on his quest. Also, I'm right here.
You're right. What should I do?
Just go. See where it takes you. Or where he takes you. Hopefully somewhere nice.
I do feel safe with him. So maybe I should try trusting this more.
Mostly, I think you should just be honest with him. He seems to like you for who you are, so there's no need to hide anything.
That's the scary thing. Why does he feel that way?
Because you're very lovely?
People keep saying this. But sometimes I just feel a lot lovelier hiding, you know?
To me, it sounds like it's perhaps a bit too late for that. Sorry for listening in. You two were just very sweet.
It's okay. I also thought it was very sweet. He was very sweet. But now that he's gone, I have time to think again. And I'm not sure if it was supposed to be that type of sweet anymore. Maybe he was just being nice?
He asked you on a date because he was just being nice?
Well, maybe he felt bad for me or something. This has a certain resonance, you might have noticed.
Innkeeper, dear, I think Fable might be in need of another drink. Maybe something to untangle her thoughts. Something for a quick escape from all this overthinking.
That sounds very good.
I'll see what I can do. Oh, Fable, you're adorable. So is the angst boy. We're not going to do any shenanigans tonight. We're too busy hooking up the grumpy sunshine here. All right. Something speedy.
Like a swift strike.
Yeah. I think a swift strike is a good candidate. Probably the only candidate, to be honest. I think it's the only thing we have that has 3 in zoomies. Fable, stop being relatable, right? Okay, so... Do they recommend anything else?
No. Basically just a swift strike.
Thank you, Andrew. Does this help?
Very much so, thank you. I feel like now I can uncurl the yarn ball that is my brain. What do you think I should do?
What do you want to do?
I want to go on our date, and I want to get to know him better. Maybe even get him to know me better as well. Do you think you would like that?
I think so, yes. Seems like you don't need our answers. You have yours already.
Sometimes I just feel like I need permission to listen to my heart.
Excuse me while I screenshot that. Rude, 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 rude.
Thanks,
This game.
Thanks,
Rude, rude. Oh my gosh. So relatable. Did you know you can give that permission to yourself?
I forget that every time, but I know you're right. I think I know what to do. Somewhat. But I'll figure the rest out. Thank you for listening to me. I think sometimes that's all I really need when I'm scared.
There's nothing wrong with being scared as long as you don't run from the things that make you happy.
You're right. It took me a while to realize that. Running's very easy. You always know where to go. Away. But staying, you have to actually look at yourself and figure out what your part is in everything. That can be a lot. But when I was on the journey back from Boreas, dancing with Kumo to the music of the navigator's fiddle, oh really? Thinking about how I would never have gotten to that point if I hadn't put myself out there. I realized that life is so much more than a constant game of hide and seek and the things that truly mean something. And I decided to stop running, even if I am scared. I want to do my best to face my problems. Even though it's terrifying, I know that I'm not alone.
And is this still about Kumo?
No, Kumo was never a problem. He's one of the reasons I'm not alone. Just like you. With good friends by my side, I can do anything.
And I can't wait to see what you will do.
It might not be as impressive as you hope, but it will be me, and I'm excited about that.
Me too. I'm really proud of you, Fable.
Thank you for everything, especially the really good advice.
That was really great advice. Maybe you should take some of it too, Grace. Maybe you should.
No, you.
But we all conquer life at our own pace. My personal next Goliath is going to be reapplying my lip gloss. Maybe some blush. I do feel a little pale. Can I borrow a mirror for bed and keeper? Of course, there's some free rooms and mirrors upstairs, right next to the acorn chimes. Just ignore the doors with the do not enter signs. You shouldn't have said that. Now I want to check.
Please don't.
I won't. I'm polite. Or am I? And she disappears. Nice.
Let's hope she won't find all the nightmare creatures you have locked up there.
Let's.
Have you ever visited the Twilight Chasm?
Not for long enough to capture any creatures.
I see. What are you thinking about, Innkeeper?
Oh, you know, innkeeper things.
I don't. No, I mean, since I'm not an innkeeper and all.
Right. That song you mentioned, the one you started writing on the ship. I know it's not done yet, but how about a little sneak peek? To see if it would make for a good jingle.
I don't think it's jingle material, but I don't mind sharing it with you. Just keep in mind, it's a work in progress.
Of course.
I'm not going to subject you to my singing. There's a calling on the wind, beneath the talk of the keep. I've heard the tales, set the sails, now it's time for me to leave.
Sounds like a good opener.
So you like it?
It's good. I can't wait to hear more.
Me too. But it's still a little rough around the edges. I feel like it's missing something.
Maybe the next adventure.
Maybe.
Will you let me know when it's done?
Of course. I can't wait to show you the finished version.
Thank you, Fable. I'm proud of you.
But maybe finally finishing a song?
For not running.
Oh. Yes, thank you. Me too. Innkeeper, do you ever think about taking your own advice?
All the time, yes.
Why don't you?
I don't know.
It's hard, I know, but I promise. I believe in you, just like you believe in me. I know we'll both be okay.
I would like that.
Me too. Well, I've talked a lot today. I'm going to give you some space.
Hmm? What?
Just the pullback angle. I'm going to give you some space. The only person here.
Maybe it's time to stop running. Should I? Is it time to read that letter? Yeah. Oh, that was easy. I guess I've been wanting to read it for a while. Let's hope for no regrets. And this is a beautiful place.
Beautiful place to stop.
Let's stop here. Let's save here and then see what's in that letter, shall we? All right. Let me save so we don't lose anything. And let's stop here. Grumpy Sunshine. Very grumpy sunshine makes me happy.